Hi, this is Ray with Aqua Power Washing. I just want to show you this house that I'm working on today. Did a whole bunch of different things for these homeowners. The first thing I did for them was to clean the composite deck in the back for them. It's actually a very large composite deck and it's one of the dirtiest ones I've ever cleaned. I also cleaned the siding for them today too, and then all the hardscapes around the house, including the front steps, front walkway, and then the patio in the back. I also did before and afters of all these areas, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste those in here now so you can see the explanation of how we do the grade of work that we do and see the before and after of the different areas. Hi, this is Ray with Aqua Power Washing. I just want to show you this project that I'm going to be working on today. This person's actually getting ready to sell this house, so I'm going to be doing a lot of work for them to try and clean this up in preparation for that. You can see that the siding has not been maintained in a while. It probably hasn't been cleaned in 8 to 10 years because we've got a lot of this heavy green organic growth on the siding. And a lot of house wash companies will treat this with pressure and try to blast it off of the surface, and that's actually the untrained portion of our industry. Our industry is all about soap solutions because obviously we're dealing with organic staining here. It also is what makes the trim look dark and dingy, and then sometimes you see, like you can see some drips underneath here. But this is where I usually see the organic staining showing up on houses, when the trim looks dark and dingy like it looks there. And what we do is the soap process lifts that organic staining right off without the use of high pressure and makes everything look really bright afterwards. And here you can see more of that staining on this side of the house. And then we also have a lot of it back here by their air conditioner. You can see it's actually kind of climbing up the siding here. And over here you can see how heavy it is around the air conditioning. And here you can see the after of the siding cleaning and how nice that came out and how all the organic growth is gone now. I also spray all the plants with a Miracle Grow type of product and a lot of water while I'm doing the job as part of my plant protection package. If we go over here you can see how nice this is. There's a little bit of shading there from this tree that's behind me, but you can see how all the organic growth is gone now. If we continue over here, we have the really heavy organic growth by these air conditioners. You can see the after of that and how nice that turned out. I also clean things like air conditioning units as part of doing the job too. I don't see the point in cleaning a house and leaving a dirty air conditioner for a customer. So that's all part of the cleaning job that I do. And here you can see how overgrown the paver patio is. It's a pretty nice setup. They actually have a giant deck up there that we're going to be cleaning for them too. And then this large paver patio down here with a hot tub. So it's a really nice setup they have here. Now trying to clean the pavers with this much organic stuff growing on it really isn't so great. Before you clean your pavers, you really want to treat everything with a weed killer and get all the weeds under control. In my opinion, the best weed killer to use for killing weeds on pavers is when you go to the store and you see the weed killer that says it lasts for a year. Because what happens is a lot of times you'll kill the weeds and you'll kill the roots to the weeds, but the organic growth comes right back again because you didn't address the fact that there's seed here on the pavers and in the sand. But when you treat it with the weed killers that last for a year, they have an additive in there which helps to control the seeds and kill the seeds so they don't germinate, and that keeps the pavers looking a lot nicer for longer. You can see we also have a nice walkway that leads around to the driveway. And here you can see the after of the patio. Basically looks like a brand new patio minus some of these weeds that remain. The nice thing about my technique is if you don't kill the weeds as part of preparing for me to come and do the work that I do, my technique will kill the weeds, but it will take a little bit of time for them to disappear, almost like spraying them with weed killer. It's a little bit uneven here because it's still drying over here, but you can see how nice everything has turned out. And here you can see this front walkway they have here. They've got these beautiful stones here, but unfortunately they've got a lot of weeds here and a lot of this black staining and also some moss down here growing in between the cracks. And this should come out beautiful once I do my two-part process on this and look like a brand new walkway. And obviously we have some areas over here where we've got some dipping in the pavers, but this should be a quick, easy fix for a handyman or a paver company that installs them or repairs them, or maybe even a landscaping company. And then you can also see the front steps and how they're dark and dingy. And the process that we do for limestone is to power wash this stone first, which removes the organic staining, and then to post-treat it with a soap solution, because this staining is going to be inside of the limestone. But the soap process that I do will lift that out of the limestone and basically make these look like brand new steps again. And here you can see the after of the front steps and how nice they are now. They basically look like a brand new set of steps. Now you can see how bright and nice this front walkway is. I also cleaned the cobblestone border because that's all part of cleaning this walkway for a customer. Hi, this is Ray with Aqua Power Washing, and I just want to show you this deck that I'm going to be cleaning today. You can see how it's covered with this heavy black organic growth. This is something called Gliocaps magma, and this is the generic black and green stuff that we're removing off of decks and off of houses. And then additionally, because it's been so long since this has been cleaned, we actually have a heavy coat of folious lichens growing on the deck here too. And you can see how that's bright green versus being the black that we're typically removing. Now the process that we use for cleaning decks like this is not a high pressure process, because that can actually damage the composite material. A lot of people will blast it with high pressure and then they'll get it off of the surface, but they're also going to take a coating of it with them. Another deficiency with cleaning it that way is that it doesn't remove the organic staining and kill it the way that it really should be done, and usually get the deck maybe about 80% as nice as it really could be. But once you apply the soap solutions that we use to clean the deck, it gently lifts it out of the composite material. It kills the organism, and that makes the cleaning job last anywhere from 2 to 5 years, depending upon how much shading you have. Although most decks I find that you really need to clean them about every 3 years. Unfortunately, composite material is very conducive environment for organic growth to grow, so you want to make sure that you keep it clean and keep things looking nice. You can see how bad it is over here, even though this is a high sun area. The rails are also really dirty here. You can see how they've got all the black staining and green staining on them too. I'm really not a fan of these composite rails. I'm a bigger fan of doing the vinyl rails, whether they be white or black. My experience is that they're much more durable and they're a lot easier to clean than trying to clean these, and they also are less prone to wear damage. As you can see here on the composite material, how you can start seeing those white pieces inside. And part of the aging process for composite material is that the cream coating on the surface fades, and then you start to see the more solid pieces on the inside afterwards. And here you can see the after of the composite deck. Considering this was as dirty as it is, I'm pleasantly surprised that it came so clean. This basically looks like a brand new deck now. You can also see how nice all the rails came out, and that heavy staining that was on top of the rails. You can see that that's all gone too. And here you can see the back side of the house and how nice everything turned out back here. If you'd like to learn more about the services that we offer, you can call us at 201-424-1800 or visit our webpage at www.gentlepowerwashing.com, and that plugs into the theme of the type of work that we do. We don't blast stuff with high pressure because that's a very ineffective way to clean things. We use soap solutions because they work a lot better, and they also make the cleaning work last 4 to 6 times longer than traditional power washing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you have a blessed day.